As a kid, my favorite thing to do was to solve word searches. It's not your typical 8-year-old hobby, I know, but I liked it anyways. I'd sit cross-legged on the floor of my room, I'd have a book and a pencil in my hands, and I'd just sit there for hours searching for meaning amidst the chaos of letters. It was amazing. I loved it. But then one day, my room was a mess, and of course I was lazy, so I decided to spend my time in the living room instead. I mean, no harm in that, right? Yeah, apparently not. Because you know what else was in the living room? A TV. A very bright, loud, colorful, distracting TV. I mean, it was so annoying. I was sitting there trying so hard to find the words while this short Latina girl with really outdated bangs and a monkey friend kept asking me if I could help her find Swiper. And now, of course, being the kind person that I am, I had to help her because, he was right there. Every time he was right behind her and she just couldn't see him. I honestly think the girl needed glasses or something because, anyways, that's how I started my childhood Dora obsession. And it's also how I started to forget about all my other obsessions. Reading, word searches, puzzles. Because now, every time I was bored, I'd sit cross-legged, not on my room's floor solving word searches, but on the living room couch, on a quest to help Dora see. And now that was fun. That was really fun, don't get me wrong, but it was only fun up until about a week before my 9th birthday. And I remember this very distinctly. It was a week before my birthday, and I was talking to my parents. We were talking about gifts, and I wanted a puzzle and some word searches. And they said no. They said no. I was flabbergasted. How could they say no? That is, until I realized that I already had a puzzle and a word search. No, scratch that. I already had puzzles and word searches. Quite a few of them. None of which I had touched, all still sitting wrapped in their boxes in a pretty little corner in the back of my closet. And when I realized this, I did what I think any sane 8-year-old girl would have done in my situation. I cried. I cried because I didn't want to stop building puzzles, because I wasn't lazy or unmotivated. I was distracted because I wasn't not curious. I was preoccupied. And somehow I managed to push away all the things that made me feel alive. And I'm sure you did too. Maybe you still do. When you start to feel bored, what do? Do you reach for your phone? Do you turn on the TV? Do you text a friend in hopes that they respond even if it's 2 a.m. and you have a test first thing in the morning? You try to waste time until something good happens. Do you even remember the last time that you were bored? And not, scrolling on your phone, texting a friend, watching Netflix, bored, but just bored. Like you were just existing. And then you realize, oh, I'm bored. Maybe I should go do something fun. No? No, I didn't think so. Because somewhere along the way, we decided that boredom was the enemy, that silence was uncomfortable, that stillness meant something was wrong. So we learned to fill it. Look around. Phones, laptops, smartwatches everywhere. I have one on my wrist, my phone in my pocket. Today, being interesting means being stimulating. We're always on because we think we have to be. It makes us cool. We chase the dopamine because we hate not knowing, not guaranteeing. And so the moment there's even the slightest bit of uncertainty, a what if, a moment with nothing to do, an uneventful day, we rush to fill it immediately. And by doing that, we lose much more than word searches and puzzles. We lose curiosity. We lose time. We lose the ability to notice. We lose moments that could have sparked ideas, insight, and laughter. But we don't lose them all at once. No, just one step at a time. But the thing is, 10 years from now, those steps add up. 10 years from now, I see their accumulation leading to a world of silence. A world where waiting feels unbearable, where uncertainty feels wrong, where every spare moment gets filled before it even has a chance to become something. My word searches, my puzzles, my books, my hobbies, they made me me. They molded my person, they shaped my life's experiences, and the moment I started to lose them, I started to lose myself. But thankfully, I was able to catch a grip before it was too late, and I think you can too. But I hear you. It's easier said than done. It's hard. I know it's hard, because it's hard for me too. Recently, as I'm getting busier with school and applications and life and just everything, I've been catching myself reaching for my phone more often than my books, scrolling instead of noticing, going for the easier choice instead of the more meaningful, because my brain needs a break. I've been catching myself falling into the same trap I did when I was 8. But the thing that I always try to remind myself of is my brain doesn't need a break. It never did. What my brain needs, no, what our brains need is space. Space away from school and work and tests and assignments and deadlines, space to just breathe, to wander, to be bored enough to notice something interesting, something unique, something worth holding on to. Space to soak in a moment without immediately trying to escape it. And that's what we're losing. Not intelligence, not motivation, not even ambition. We're losing space, presence, experience, individuality. We're losing our lives. We're losing the ability to actually be where we are and experience life as it's meant to be. And you might not mean to do it. I don't either. You might be genuinely busy and overwhelmed. You might be tired and unmotivated. You might have a million things going on in your life right now. If you do, I'm sorry. I really am, but time doesn't stop. The clock keeps ticking, and if you waste every free second because of these, I don't want to call them excuses, that's a little harsh, but these justifications, if you waste every free second because of these justifications, then you waste your life. And I don't mean that to scare you, but because I genuinely do want to stop you from making the same mistakes that I did, and that I sometimes still do. I want to help you realize that life doesn't happen when everything is optimized and entertaining. Dora might benefit from the extra help, but you definitely don't. Instead, life happens in what I like to call the in-between. It happens on the long walks with nowhere to go, on the bus rides, staring out the window, in awkward silences, in random outings, in moments where nothing is happening, and then suddenly something sparks. That is where you notice the world. It's where you overhear random conversations that stick with you, where you come up with random ideas, where you realize what you actually care about. It's where you live your life. And that is where you become interesting. And it might seem a little counterintuitive, but hear me out. Being bored does not make you boring. Being bored gives you the space to be curious, to be creative, to be present, to be alive. It does not make you boring. Being bored makes you notice. It makes you think and explore, and that is the essence of interesting. It's where you get the stories that you're going to tell your kids however many years down the line. Travel, experiences, life. You don't get that from scrolling, but you do get it from living. And so I want us all to make a pact with boredom, to finally stop running away from it, to invite it in, maybe even to let it stay for a cup of coffee, to embrace it. Because it's one of those things that you won't notice is gone until it's already too late, if even then, really. It's one of those things that you really need to be intentional about. And let me show you what I mean. And this is where my inner science nerd might come out just a bit, but bear with me. Okay, so here's an EKG. Now, for those of you that don't know, an EKG records the electrical output of the heart with every heartbeat. It records patterns, variation, change, rhythm, and you can see it. It goes up, it goes down, it pauses, it surprises you. You never know what's coming next. Is it life? Is it death? Stay tuned to find out. But it can also not surprise you. Look here. No movement, no variation, no change, no rhythm, just nothing. Silence. Deafeningly loud silence. The kind of silence that really only comes with constant distraction, the kind of silence that you can't realize because it'll already be too late, the kind of silence that comes only when you don't let boredom exist, when you never embrace the in-between. And that's why it's really important that you make this pact, not for me, but for you to make your life interesting, to make it full of ups and downs and whatever you want to fill it with, to make it yours, to make it full of exploration, discovery, curiosity, to make it full of noise. You need to make this pact for you to be bored, not boring. Thank you.